Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the last day of our Black Belt Hackathon, day 3. Before we begin, let's start with our 86% recovery. I believe you guys remember what is that 86% rule. 86% is the amount of information we can store during that day. Okay, sorry, 86% is what we basically we forget, and only 14% remains. So let's recover. So what we covered yesterday, can we just quickly give the, type in the chat? And then after that, we will go again to the day one. If you can remember day one as well, that will be great. Yeah. So can you just type randomly? It can be random. You don't have to go through the sequence. Okay. So yesterday, yes, very good. Hypothesis testing, very good. So we started with two sample t-test. So basic hypothesis, which comes in the analysis phase. Hypothesis is nothing but assumption. Our causes and the root causes are our assumptions. So those causes have to be validated with the data. And that's what exactly we do in hypothesis testing. So in the green belt level, we have the basic foundation level understanding of hypothesis, where we have seen one sample t-test, two sample t-test. Okay. Yesterday, what we did, we just started with the basic. We started with two sample t-test, and then we switched to a little deeper topic of what is t-test, what is z-test. Then we checked what is p-value, how that p-value is manually calculated. So that procedure also we understood with the statistical table, right? After that, we have seen the advanced statistics as well. Very nice. So we have seen there are three types of major types in hypothesis. One is the hypothesis of the means. Second is hypothesis of the variation or variance. And the third one is hypothesis of the proportion. Correct? You remember these three? So in the mean, what we had one sample t-test, two sample t-test, pair t-test, and ANOVA. That was the hypothesis of the means, right? If you want to compare means to means. Correct? So if one sample with the standard, one sample t-test, two sample with each other, two sample t-test. If more than two samples, go for ANOVA. If the same sample tested against two different scenarios, go for two pair t-test. So that was discussed in the mean. Then in the second one was we have the variances, right? So we have F ratio test, the F test basically, where you want to compare two variances with each other, we go for F test. And if you want to go more than two, then the test of equal variances, that was done in the variances. Then the third one was the proportions, right? So in the proportions, what we have seen in the proportion, type in the chat box. Yes, one was chi-square test. Very good. What was the other one? What was the first one in proportion? If you remember, we had taken that Xerox machine wala example. Yeah, what was that? Type in the chat box, everybody. Proportion test. So in proportion test, we studied two tests, correct? Very good. Test of two proportions. Absolutely right. So we compared two proportion test. If we have two proportion, what is proportion? Proportion, let's say I have 100 pieces, quality check done, out of 100, 10 rejected. That is 10%. So percentage is the proportion. So when we are comparing these two, that is called two proportion. If we have more than two, then we go for chi-square test, right? So we have seen this advanced hypothesis. After that, we have seen regression, correct? So we started with the basic correlation and regression, which we covered in the green belt level, like positive correlation, negative correlation, no correlation, then R square value, then line of best fit, regression equation like y is equal to a plus bx. So we covered the basic first, right? Then we went for the advanced regression, like, so in the green belt level, we had seen linear regression, and in the black belt level, we have seen the quadratic models as well as the cubic models, right? So quadratic models where the square terms are there in the model. Model is nothing but that equation. Okay, models are used to predict the behavior of the population. That is called models, right? So quadratic equation, has the square terms, and the cubic equations have square terms as well as the cube terms. Okay, cube meaning raised to 3, right? So that's what we have seen. And apart from that, we have seen the matrix plot where multiple x's, what is the impact on the y, also we can check with the matrix plot, and then we can see the equation as well, right? So yesterday we have covered this, advanced hypothesis and advanced regression. Just a quick refresher. Yes, just give me yes in the chat box. Everybody with me? By the way, let me ask you one question. How many of you right now today have already completed your green belt certification and ready for the black belt examination? Just type me in the chat box. How many of you like that? Just type me in the chat box. The box is open, right? Okay. So you must have the green belt certification with you, and you are ready with your black belt portion, and you are confident, you are clear about the concepts. Okay, these are the requirements. That's it. Okay, very good. Chalo, so let's start with the today's topic. We are going to cover a very important topic today, and that is design of experiment. Now, this is, a highlight topic for the black belts. Very important. Now, this is, as I said yesterday, it's an amalgamation. It's a combination of, your statistics, your hypothesis testing, your regression, the p-values calculation. Everything is basically covered in design of experiments. Okay, so let's discuss about design of experiments. Now, till in the green belt as well as in the black belt levels, we have seen one type of data collection, and that was reactive way of data collection. What was that? Reactive way of data collection. What is reactive way? Reactive meaning we collect the data. Data is also called as voice of process. Make a note of this. Data is also called as voice of process. Now, we have seen data being collected from the process, and that is called voice of process. Okay, but it was a reactive way. For example, we collect the data after the process has happened. Process is over. Then we collect the data. We collect the data of the output, right? What is the setting? What is the output? So that is something which is called reactive way. We are, after the activity is done, we are just collecting the data, and then we make time series plot, control charts, stratification, hypothesis, regression. These are all done after the reactive data collection. Okay, we observe after the process is done, we collect the data of the output. Now, there is another way which is more prominent, more effective way, and that is called active way of data collection. Now, understand this. Let's say I'm making let's say pizza. Okay. Now, in the pizza making process, I'm collecting all the voice of process, which is the data. So I'm checking the moisture level of the dough, the weight of the dough, the density of the dough. So this is what I'm just collecting the data. Then I'm collecting the data of what is the temperature of the oven, what is the time duration kept in the oven, all this data collection. And after the pizza is made, I'm checking all the quality parameters. This is called a reactive way. Now, what is active way? Now, let's say I'm changing the moisture content of the dough. So what I'm doing, I'm present in that process, and I am playing with the process parameter, and then I'm collecting the impact as well. That is called active way. That is also called as experimentation. In experimentation, what the scientists are doing, they're doing the same thing, right? They are changing the parameters actively, and they are just checking the impact on the output. And that is called experiment. And this way is called active way of data collection or design of experiment. So in this active way, experiment with changes to the process and then we measure the result, the impact of the result. After we collect the result, we analyze that result statistically. And this entire process is called a design of experiment. Okay, so in design of experiment, what is the difference? We actively involved in the process, we make the changes in the process, and we check the impact on the output. Okay, so till this point, we have just studied the reactive way of data collection and analyzing it. Now we are going to study the active way. Now, when we Just to understand a concept, let me give you a very nice example to explain this. Okay. Now, let's understand this case. Vijay, Sanjay, and Ajay are three students. Okay, they're three friends. They are just, young kids, 16, 17, 18 years, very young, going in junior college, 11, 12 standard, etc. Now, Vijay has a neighbor called Sia. Okay, Sia is a girl, a beautiful, smiling girl who used to stand when these three boys used to go to college. So Sia used to stand in her gallery and just used to smile looking at them. Now, it is a typical, what you can say, Bollywood cinema kind of a story. Now, these three boys, they were confused that who is that lucky guy, to whom Sia is smiling at. So they wanted to do this experiment. Okay, let's see what permutation combination they basically tried. Okay, so this is the background. Now let's do this experiment with observation. Now they have done this experiment. Vijay, Sanjay, and Ajay, and then the Sia's response they collected. Okay, so let's say, for example, the first one. When all the three people were present, Vijay, Sanjay, and Ajay, and Sia smiled. That was the first day experiment. Second day, Vijay, who was neighbor of Sia, by the way, who was not present, only Sanjay and Ajay were present. Sia still smiled. The next day, Sanjay was there, and they were deliberately doing this. Okay, so they were asking, okay, Sanjay, you don't come along with us. Okay, you may come later. Let's see what is Sia's response. So Vijay and Ajay were there. Sia still smiled. Now the fourth day, Ajay didn't come, and surprisingly, Sia didn't smile. All right, now, with this 4 days experiment, what is your conclusion? Type in the chat box. Who is the person you feel like Sia is interested or Sia is, smiling at? Who would be that person? Type in the chat box. Seems to be Ajay. Very good. Everybody, it's clear, evident that from the first 4 days experiment, it seems like when Ajay is not there, she's not smiling. Ajay was there, she is smiling. So it's clearly Ajay is becoming kind of a winner here in the first 4 experiments, we can say. Now, the next day, only Sanjay went, she didn't smile. Only Vijay went, she didn't smile. Now the day 7, only Ajay went, still she didn't smile. Try to understand this. She was present, but she was not smiling. Even when Ajay was there, that's a surprising twist. Twist in the tail. कहानी में twist, कहानी में एक मोड़ आ चुका है. Right? Now then, the 8th day, Sanjay and Ajay were there. She smiled again, and this experiment continued like this. Okay. So there was kind of a mix responses Sia gave. So what these people, they just collected the data and they started analyzing the data with the statistics. Understood the scenario? Understood? Just give me yes in the chat box before we go for the analysis part. This is just a basic level of kind of experiment. Yes, interesting, isn't it? Okay, so three students going, whether she is smiling or not, that is a response. That is the output basically we are considering. Now let's do the analysis of this entire scenario. So they put all this data in the software, and software has given this effect plot. Okay, now just try to understand this. The first one is for Vijay. Okay, now here you can see Vijay, when Vijay was absent, she smiled 3 times. Okay, this is how many times Sia had smiled. And when Vijay was present, she smiled 3 times. So whether Vijay is present or absent, the response. Now, do you remember yesterday we spoke about positive relationship, negative relationship, and no relationship? Do you remember? Just give me yes in the chat box. Now you can connect the dot with this. As I said earlier, design of experiment is amalgamation of hypothesis testing, regression, statistics, everything will come into picture here. Okay. Now for Vijay, even though Vijay was neighbor of Sia, he is hardly making any impact on the smile. Whether he's present or absent, the kind of smile is flat. What about Sanjay? When Sanjay was absent, she smiled 2 times. When Sanjay was present, she smiled 4 times. So there is some kind of inclination, some kind of positive inclination. But look at Ajay. Ajay was absent, she smiled once. When Ajay was present, she smiled 7 times. And that gives the maximum type of slope. Can you see the slope? The definition of slope, if you remember, yesterday we discussed what is slope? 1 unit change. Here there are only 2 factors, absent and present. So this is called 1 unit. So with 1 unit, we have a direct jump of 7 elements or 7 rating, 7 counts. And this is called slope. So the highest amount of slope we are getting at Ajay. That means Ajay is making highest amount of impact on her smile. So graphically, statistically, we are proving that Ajay is having the highest amount of impact. So here, Vijay, Sanjay, and Ajay were the input factors, X's, and Sia's smile was the output factor. So in this case, we can see Sia's smile has been impacted with the with those people with Ajay presence. Clear, everybody? And this is the basic understanding of what we are going to learn in design of experiment. Of course, there are other factors as well, but this is what we are going to do in a broader way. Are you clear where we are basically heading towards? They have done the experiment. They have decided, okay, today you will go, today this combination will go, today this combination will go, then next day all 3 of us will go, etc., etc. And then they analyze it properly. Clear? Just give me yes in the chat box. And they plotted absent and present. How many times absent, how many times present? That's it. Clear, a simple understanding? This is called as effect plot. What is the effect of the factor on the output? That is called effect plot. Okay. So more the slope, more is the effect. Flatter is the slope, flatter is the effect. Okay. Now, design of experiment is very advanced technology, advanced methodology. A lot of, see, we have trained a lot of, not only manufacturing, but a lot of pharmaceutical R&D people as well. Anybody from pharma in this room right now? Anybody from having pharma background? Yeah, so pharma people, we have done a lot of trainings, especially all the R&D people, research and development people, because they are using experimentation, they are spending a lot of resources and time, and DOE has saved a lot of time, money, resources for pharma industry. Okay, so we are learning that art today. Now, before design of experimentation, there used to be a system called OFAT. Everybody, can you just type OFAT in the chat box? Now, this question is very much asked in the exam. What was before DOE? What was the system that used to be followed? That is called OFAT. OFAT. Now, OFAT stands for one factor at a time. One factor at a time. And you will believe even today, lot of pharma companies are still using OFAT system. Lot of scientists are still using OFAT system. What is OFAT system? Let me give you example. Okay. Let's say, for example, let's take the same simple example of test of T. Okay. Now, if I have to, improve the test of T, let's say test of T is my Y. Okay, is my output. So what are the factors which can impact? Let's say it is sugar quantity, it is milk quantity, it is water quantity, it is a tea powder quantity. Okay, it is the temperature, it is the time of stirring time. Lot of factors will be there. So these are just examples I'm giving. Okay. Now, for every factor, we have to decide the level. Now, what is level? For example, let's say for 1 cup of tea, I will put, let's say, half a tablespoon and 1 tablespoon. So my lower setting will be half tablespoon. My higher setting will be 1 tablespoon. So let me just write a little differently here. Let me remove this. Okay. So here, let me write here. Okay. Sugar, milk, tea, water, and what was that? Temperature and time of stirring. Okay. So I'm just giving you a couple of examples. So sugar, half tablespoon is the lower setting and 1 tablespoon is the higher setting. Okay. So when there is a negative sign or a minus sign, it means you have to put half tablespoon sugar. Okay. Let's say milk, maybe half a cup or 1 cup. I'm just giving very pure, just for our understanding. Okay. Tea powder, half a cup and sorry, half a tablespoon and 1 tablespoon. Okay. Water, again, I'm just giving very random data like that. Okay. So here, for example, when we are saying, so let's go for trial run number 1. In the trial run, what we do here, we will keep sugar at 1.5, milk at 1.5, tea at 1.5, water at 1.5. Let's say temperature be, let's say 80 degrees centigrade. Time, let's say 2 minutes. So let's say time is 2 and 5 minutes. Example, temperature 80 and 100. I'm just giving you random example. Okay. And we will run this all the lower setting and check the test of that cup of tea. Okay. This is the first round. After that, what we'll do, we will change the factor number 1, this one. Okay. We'll change, that is called 1 factor at a time. Okay. So we'll keep all rest will be on the lower side. Only first one we will change to 1 tablespoon of sugar. Rest everybody will be as it is. Then we will make the cup of tea and test the test of the cup. Okay. Then after that, we will keep the factor 1 again back to normal, which was the minus, which is half a cup, half a tablespoon. Then we'll change the factor number 2. Instead of half, we will make it 1. Remaining everything will be as it is. So after every trial, we will shift 1 by 1 factor on the positive side. Other will be on the negative side, which is the lower setting. Are you clear? And then we will make the complete reading of the samples. So here we will write down the rating. So here the test will be basically captured. So let's say this for this, the test is 5 out of 10 example. For the second one, it was, let's say 4.5 out of 10. Then let's say 6 out of 10, like that. So we'll take the test rating for all the experiments. Are you clear? This is called 1 factor at a time. Are you clear with this? Just give me yes in the chat box. So when you are just changing for every trial, you are just changing 1 factor and just checking the impact of that change on your output. Just give me yes if you have understood this scenario. 1 factor at a time. This was the genesis. This was the original experimentation used to happen like this. Okay. Before DOE, still, as I said earlier, still a lot of people are using OFAC today, even today. Clear? Basic funda is clear? So to decide your factors, and every time you change 1 level of the factor. Okay. And there are only 2 levels. One is minus, one is plus. Minus is the lower setting, plus is the higher setting. Are you clear with this? Just give me yes in the chat box quickly. Yes, समझ में आ गया? Then we can move forward. Very good, very good, super. Any question you have, please let me know. Okay. Now there is one advanced version of it, and that is called as keeper strategy. It is also OFAT, but OFAT keeper strategy. Now, what is keeper strategy? Let me explain you. Now look at this. Just the same scenario, just same setup. The only change is here, over here, you can see the first trial will be all, minus, 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 right? Now, the second also, they will change the plus. Let's say, for example, the response is 1.80. Okay, just imagine there is some response. Now, in the second trial, they have changed the first factor to plus, okay, which was the higher setting. Now it has given a positive result. It has given the higher response. From 1.8, it has moved to 1.95. Okay. Now, because it has given a positive response, what we'll do, that's why it's called keeper strategy. We will keep that setting as it is. Understand this? So for all the factors, we will keep all the trials, we will keep that rating because that change has given us a positive response. So we will keep that change as it is. We will not change that setting now. We'll be keeping it at the higher level. Okay. Now in the third trial, now we will change the second factor. Okay. Now second factor has brought down the results from 1.95 to 1.85. So we will not keep this setting for the next experiment. So we'll keep the minus setting only. That's what it's called keeper strategy. So if that change is bringing a positive response, we will keep that strategy. If the change has brought a negative response or lower response, we will go back to the original setting. And this is called a keeper strategy. You can see here for factor number 4, they have changed from minus to plus, and there is a positive response. So they have kept, from all the rest of the trials, they have kept factor number 4 at the higher setting. And this is called keeper strategy. Are you clear with this? This is also OFAT keeper strategy. It's a little advanced version of the keeper strategy. Clear? OFAT and keeper strategy is clear. Just give me yes in the chat box. Just give me Y. Y is yes. Clear hai? Any question you have, please let me know. Super. Now try to understand this. Let me give you a practical example of this, okay, so that you can even more understand this. Now there was a Six Sigma team, and they wanted to increase the mileage. Okay. So current mileage they were getting was 18 kilometer per liter, and the target is to take it to 30 kilometer per liter. So they did a brainstorming first. They came out with these 7 to 8 different types of causes. Okay. Like, for example, the first cause is brand of the gas. Okay, there are various gases. Now, this is the basically fuel which is used to burn. Okay. The octane. Now, in that gas, octane is the main factor, main ingredient. Okay. So that was the octane rating was a factor. Okay. So because in our fuel also, there are various types of fuels, right? Petrol, diesel, and airline grade fuel, etc. So similarly, there are various octane rating in those fuels. Okay. So octane rating was one of the factors they identified. The driving speed, slower driver or the speedy driving. Tune-up car meaning very well maintained car. Okay, so car maintenance also is one of the factors. The washing and waxing of the car. Now, if the car is not washed properly, there are a lot of dust around, etc. That also can create some resistance, according to the study. Okay. Then the tires. The condition of the tires also is a factor, and the pressure in the tire. So condition, whether it is a torn tire or a ruptured tire, or wear and tear has happened to the tire, and then the pressure of the tire. So these are the total list of the factors, out of which they selected octane rating, the speed of the car, and the tire pressure are the critical factors. Everybody remembers 80-20 principle, right? Not all the factors are critical factors. Only 20% critical factors will impact 80% of our results. That is applicable everywhere. So out of their 7 to 8 factors they have identified, 3 factors are the most important according to their experience and the knowledge. Okay. So they wanted to do their experiment with these 3 factors, just like Ajay, Vijay, and Sanjay. Okay. So they did this experiment like this. Okay. So first they decided the levels, level meaning the lower setting as well as the higher setting. So what were the factors? Speed, 55 kilometer and 60 kilometer is the speed. Okay. Octane rating, octane is another factor they decided. So 85 was the lower setting, 90 was the higher setting. So this is minus and this is plus. This is minus and this is plus. Okay. Then tire pressure was another factor they identified, and 30 and 35 was the levels. So minus and plus. Okay. And this is our response, which is our Y. Okay. Which is kilometer per liter. Clear, everybody? So they did the first experiment. If you remember, the first experiment is where all the negative minus settings are there, all the lower setting. Okay. So they kept the speed at 55, which is lower setting, octane at 85 rating, and the pressure at 30. Okay. And they drove the car for 1 hour and they checked the kilometer per liter. They found to be 23. Okay. After that, they changed the first factor to plus, which is on the higher setting. They kept the remaining at lower setting, and they found that the kilometer per liter has increased. The moment they found it has increased, they kept it as it is for rest of the experiments. Okay. Then in the next round, they changed the second factor, octane. They kept it as, tire pressure as it is. They found because of this change, there has been a negative impact on kilometer per liter. So they kept it as the negative setting. And then they changed the tire pressure to 35 and they got a little bit of improvement from there. Okay. Now this is called one factor at a time keeper strategy. It's a practical example. Are you clear? Yes. Now tell me what is the which run. So these are the runs, okay, or trials. Which trial? This is first, second, third, and fourth. I'll write here. First, second, third, and fourth. So which one has got the best result? Second number trial. Yes or no? Correct. So they can declare that, okay, so 60, 85, and 30 is the best combination. If we run the car at 60 speed, at octane rating at 85, and tire pressure at 30, we will get the best result. But the question is, have we checked all the permutation and combinations? Yes or no? Just type Y for yes and N for no. Have we tried all the permutation combination in this? How many permutations and combinations are possible with this setup? With 3 factors and every factor has 2 levels. How many permutations can happen? First of all, tell me, have we tested all the permutation? That's the first question. No. Yes? Everybody's agreed on this? We have not tested all the permutation and combination. Correct? Because there could be multiple permutations and combinations are possible. Now, when they tried that permutation and combination, that is called as full factorial experiment. Okay, let me explain you this. What is full factorial experiment? This is very, very important insight. So what is the highest level of permutation you can get? This is called as L raised to F. You can write this formula, L raised to F. Okay, what is L? L meaning level and F meaning factor. Okay, now here, because we have 2 levels, lower setting and higher setting, we have 2 levels and 3 factors. So 2 raised to 3 is equal to 8. So minimum number of minimum number of combinations we can have is 8 number of factors. No, maximum number of combinations are 8. Okay. So how can we identify this? There is a simple pattern we can identify. This is factor number 1. This is factor number 2, and this is factor number 3. Okay. So for the first factor, understand this, how you can make a pattern like this. For the first factor, you have to change your levels after every run. Okay, so for example, first you keep it at minus, then you keep it at plus, then minus again plus, again minus, again plus, again minus, again plus. So for first column, you have to change the setting after every run. First you keep it minus, then you keep it plus, then minus, then plus, then minus, then plus. For the second factor, you change the setting after every 2 runs. Okay, for example, minus, minus, plus, plus, minus, minus, plus, plus. And for the third factor, you change after every 4 runs. For example, minus, 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 plus, 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 plus. When I say minus, it's a lower setting. When I say plus, it's a higher setting. And this gives us the entire combination. Now you just check it. All the combinations are unique combinations. Can you just give me the confirmation? Just type yes in the chat box. Just check all the combination. First combination is minus, minus, minus. Second is plus, minus, minus. Third is minus, plus, minus. Fourth is plus, plus, minus. Fifth is minus, minus, plus. Sixth is plus, minus, plus. Seventh is minus, plus, plus. And the eighth is plus, plus, plus. All are the unique combinations. Clear, everybody? And this is called as full factorial experiment, which tests all the combinations in this equation with all the levels. Now, when they did that, they found, kmpl, kilometer per liter, 37, 37, 36. So they have got much higher results than the target. The target was 30 kmpl, if you remember. Okay, so they got much greater result than when they actually tested this full factorial experiment. Clear? So this pattern remains absolutely common. Huh? This minus, plus, minus, plus, minus, minus, plus, plus, minus, 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 plus, plus. This pattern remains absolutely standard. And this is called as full factorial experimentation. Are you clear? Just give me yes in the chat box. You can take the screenshot. This is all available in the black belt curriculum as well. Super clear hai sabko? Just give me, everybody can just give me the confirmation, because if you have not understood this, the next part will not be understood. Clear hai? Super clear? Everybody? Now, let me ask you a question. Instead of 3, I have 4 factors. Then how many number of runs will be there? The formula of runs is L raised to F. So I have 2 factors and, 2 levels and 4 factors. So the formula is 2 raised to 4. Then what will be the answer? 16. Okay. In that case, see, first will be minus, plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, minus, plus. Second will be minus, minus, plus, plus, minus, minus, plus, plus. Third will be minus, 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 plus, 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 plus. Correct? The fourth will be, let's say the fourth factor would be minus, 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 and later 8 all would be plus, 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 plus. Are you clear? So the first one changes after every alternate. Second one changes after every 2 levels or 2 experiments. Third one changes after every 4 experiments. And the fourth one changes after every 8 experiments. Are you clear? Every 8 runs, I would say. Clear hai ye pattern? 1, 2, 4, 8. Clear hai? Just give me yes in the chat box. समझ में आ गया? How you can also make the complete pattern of this? Very good. Now let's make this pattern on on our Minitab software. Okay. Can I just open any blank Minitab worksheet? Just open any blank Minitab worksheet and we'll create this kind of a factorial experiment. Okay. Open any blank Minitab worksheet. We will create one factorial experimental design. Okay. Complete blank. Let me also open it if I can. Or any kind of Minitab worksheet if you have. Let me open one worksheet. Once you open, let me know in the chat, okay? Okay, a blank worksheet is open. Okay, very good. Now what we'll do, we'll create this worksheet. We'll create this full factorial design. Go to stat, DOE, factorial, create factorial design. Just follow this process. Stat, DOE, factorial, create factorial design. Stat, DOE, factorial, create factorial design. Okay. Just click on that. This window will appear. So we will keep by default 2-level factors. So there are 2 levels, minus and plus. Okay. Of course, in the advanced level, which we have covered in the master black belt level. So you have 3 levels, or for every factor, one factor you have 2 levels, second factor you have 4 levels, 3 levels, like that also you can set up. But that will be a complex design. We will cover that in the advanced level in the master black belt. Okay. Now, number of factors, for our creation, let's keep it at 3 factors. So 2 levels and 3 factors. Okay. Now, let's go to design. Right now, we want to create full factorial design. Again, fractional factorial is an advanced topic we will cover in the master black belt. Full factorial पे click करना है. And just click on OK. Everybody with me? Just give me yes in the chat box. So what we have done, let me just quickly repeat. Go to stat, DOE, factorial, create factorial design. We have kept 2-factor level, which is by default. Instead of 2 factors, we are setting 3 factors. Design, we are selecting full factorial design. Click on OK. And now we are going to factors. Okay. In this factors, we can give the name of the factor. Okay. For example, if we want to give the name like this, what is the name? Let's say tire pressure. What were the factors there? Octane, speed, and the tire pressure, right? So let's say speed is 1, octane is another, and third is pressure, tire pressure, right? So now, in the type of data, there are 2 options given, numeric and text. What is numeric? If you have numbers, like speed can be in the number, and text can be also there. For example, when do we use text? If we have instead of tire, let's say, if we have a discrete data or attribute data, okay, we have JK tire and CAT tire. That is a text data, na? Okay, let's say for example, instead of pressure, if we have tire type, what is the tire of the type of the tire? And in the text, I would write JK tire and I would write Seat tire. Are you understanding? So we can create the text factors as well at various levels. Okay. But as of now, we'll keep it as pressure just for our understanding, and we'll keep it as numeric. Okay. Remaining everything will be numeric only. So as of now, just for, so we can put the lower setting and the higher setting accordingly. Okay. Like speed, we can keep it at 50 and high at 60. Octane rating at whatever is the rating, and the pressure also, whatever, right? And then we'll keep okay. Then we'll keep it as okay. Okay. Now go to option after that. Go to option. And here, just uncheck this box called randomize runs. I will explain you what is randomization, but as of now, just uncheck. Just uncheck this box called randomize run. Randomize meaning just mixing the runs. Okay. Right now, we are just creating this worksheet so that we don't want to randomize it. Just click on OK. And now click on OK. Now a worksheet would have been clear. Worksheet would have been, made for you like this. This is basically the full factorial design worksheet. Everybody got it? Just type yes in the chat box. Clear? Now, what we need to do is, just like day one, we discussed about gauge R&R worksheet creation. Similarly, this is a design of experiment worksheet creation. So once it is made, we can copy it in the Excel and take a printout of this. Okay. And here, then we will do the experiment. Okay. What experiment we will do? So here it will be KMPL, right? Which is the output. So we will write the output. So in the first run, we will keep speed at the lower setting, octane at the lower setting, pressure at the lower setting, and we'll check the KMPL. Okay, let's say the first KMPL was 25. Then we will change the second one. Okay, the second KMPL was 27, like that. And we'll keep all the 8 readings over here. Once the readings are there, then we'll go for the analysis of it. Clear? This is how you can create the worksheet. Are you clear with this? Just type yes in the chat box. Just give me yes. Everybody understood? Any question? Any question? No question? So no questions have 2 reasons. One, you have understood everything. Second, you have not understood anything. So just type 1 or 2. 1 meaning you have understood. Second, you have not understood anything. Type in the chat box so that I can get the confidence that, okay, you guys are understanding. And understand. See, once you sit with the complete open mind, there is no rocket science here. Very simple logic we are just using and proceeding further. Even you don't know about hypothesis, don't know about, regression, correlation, statistics, etc. This is a simple basic science, basic logical explanation. Correct? Yes. Everybody got it? Still now, till this point, everybody with me, I believe, right? Very good. Now let's go back and let me explain you. If I press Control E, I will go back to the edit last dialog box. Now let me go back to the randomization factor. Okay. So let me just remove this. And just a second. Let me just randomize it. You remember in options, we just uncheck this randomize runs, right? So now let me randomize it for you. If you also have this, now there is also very important pattern. If you remember, I mentioned 1111 code, algo code. So that here also you can use for randomization. Just type 1111. So if you also press 1111, all of you will get the same randomized pattern. Okay, that is the algo code fit in the Minitab. Okay, and not 1111. You can put 2222 whatever 0000. Okay, now let's do this, and you will see this pattern now will get shuffled. Okay, just to eliminate the bias from the experiment. Just like gauge R&R, we are not giving the sample like first sample, second sample, third sample. We are randomizing. First, we are giving second, then seventh sample, then ninth sample, then fifth sample. So we give randomized runs. Okay. So just click on OK and click on OK. You will see the runs are, getting randomized. For example, now you will understand this. Can you see the pattern has changed here? Okay, the first pattern was, the original pattern was minus minus plus plus, right? So here you can see the pattern has randomized now. Okay, so here you can see plus, minus, minus, plus, minus, plus, minus, plus. So the pattern has disrupted. Here also plus, minus, plus, plus, minus, minus, plus, minus. So again, the pattern has disrupted. Here plus, 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 minus, minus, plus, minus, minus. So again, it's a randomized pattern now. All the 8 runs, but in the randomized way. Why? Just to eliminate the bias from the system, we do the randomization. Are you clear? Just give me yes in the chat box. So ideally speaking, you have to basically randomize the runs and then do the experiments. Okay. Ideally, you have to follow this. Now, let me just speak about some of the basic fundamentals. Okay. Let me go back to my PPT. Now, once we have understood the full factorial experiment, let me quickly touch upon some of the terminologies used in this design of experiment. Okay. So what are the terminologies which are generally used in DOE? The first terminology is called experiment. What is experiment? The experiment meaning the entire set of trials. That is called the entire experiment. Okay. Methodical procedure of collecting the data in a structured format for further analysis to validate our hypothesis is called experiment. So all the 8 runs together, it's called experiment. Okay. Outcome is a response, which is our Y, like KMPL, like test of the T. These are our outcome. Okay, the Y. Then the factors, which are all the 7, 8 factors which have been identified, right? Tire pressure, octane rating, the fuel type, all those, these are called X's, which are impacting our Y, correct? Then after that, please ask the question if you haven't understood anything. Then there are called levels. Everybody knows the levels, right? The alternative values of the factors. So you have seen the tire pressure, minus and plus. These are called levels. So generally we have 2 levels. Okay. Then trials. Trials are nothing but the number of runs basically. So trials and runs are nothing but the same thing. Okay. Now we have studied 8 number of trials or 8 number of runs. So one experiment will have 8 different types of trials or 8 different types of runs. Okay. So how do we calculate the number of trials or number of runs? The formula is L raised to F, level raised to factor. Now, it is very important to keep this number of trials below certain numbers, because let's say imagine instead of 3 factors, we select 5 factors. See how exponentially number of trials will go up. For example, let's understand this. If I have only 2 factors, how many runs will be there for 2 factors? If factors are 2 and let's say number of runs, okay? Of course, 2 levels, huh? So number of runs will be 4. What about 3 factors? Number of runs will be 8. What about 4 factors? If we have, number of runs will be 16. What about 5 factors? Number of runs will be 32. What about 6 factors? Number of runs will be 64. And it will go exponentially very high. So you don't, take lot of factors. Understand this. 80-20 principle applies everywhere. You cannot have all the 8, 10, 15 factors impacting your experiment powerfully. Okay. You have to have those critical factors. Experiment has to be done with the critical factors. Remember this. Write this down. Experiment has to be done with critical factors, and those factors are called as experimental factors. I'll explain you that. Are you clear why we have to restrict the number of factors? Because the number of factors go up, our number of runs also. Even the number of levels also the same thing. You cannot go with multiple number of levels. Okay, let's say low, medium, and high. Instead of low, medium, high, just go for high and low, right? Because in between, medium also is taken care of. So take the extreme values and set your levels at the two settings only. So while setting these levels and factors, we have to be very, very cautious, because according to that, the number of runs will go up. Clear till now? Just give me yes in the chat box, everybody. Is it clear to you? Number of factors, number of levels, and the number of runs, L raised to F. And why we should restrict the number of levels and number of factors? Because the number of runs, see, more the number of trials, more resources, more time required, management approval required, correct? So that will go, then management may say, no, we cannot approve you 64 trials or 32 trials. Maybe we can give you a 16 trials or 8 trials. So you have to do it accordingly, okay? Now, then apart from that, there are various types of factors, okay? What are the various types of factors? Various types of factors are experimental factor. The first one is called types of factors experimental. These are the critical factors which will be used during the experiments. Okay. Then called the control factor. Now, what are the control factor? Control factors are the factors which have to be kept constant. Understand this. In the first octane wala experiment, the KMPL wala experiment, we had 8 factors identified. Out of 8, only 3 experimental factors were basically what you can say suggested or identified. Okay. What about the remaining 5 factors? They were kept constant. So only one constant, meaning only one level was selected. Only one level. And they were fixed. They were frozen at that level. They will not be changed. They will not be altered. That are called control factors. So we had a control on them. Let's say sugar at 1 tablespoon. So they will keep sugar at 1 tablespoon only. That's it. We will not change it. So that will not be experimental factor. It is a control factor. Okay. Apart from that, there is something called noise factor. Noise factor is a factor which we cannot control. Just like our mother nature factor, like we cannot control. Remember, man, machine, method, material, mother nature. Mother nature is the factor which we cannot control. For example, environmental temperature, we cannot control. Environmental humidity, we cannot control. Right? While raining, the humidity will go up. When there is a dry winter is going on, the humidity will be less. Right? So temperature, humidity is a natural phenomenon. In uncontrolled environment, we cannot change it. Okay, we cannot control it. Of course, in the control, we have a humidifier, dehumidifier, we have a air conditioner. In that control environment, we can control temperature, humidity, airflow, etc. But otherwise, dust, airflow, temperature, humidity, these are noise factors. Are you clear? Now, I'll give you, I'll give you another example of noise factor. I'll give you 2 examples of noise factors. Example number 1. Example number 1. Okay. And this was a real experiment done in US. Okay. There was a company which used to make chicken feed. This is very interesting experiment. Chicken feed for the poultry farm. Okay. Now this chicken feed, just like, we have the Maggi noodles, etc. So they have created a protein-rich chicken feed, and the company's, what you can say, company's promise, brand promise was, your chicken will grow 150% or 1.5 times. Let's say your chicken weight is 10 kg, it will go to 15 kg. If you feed only with this chicken for 1 month, this chicken feed for 1 month. Okay. So what they did for the sake of experiment, let's say this is a poultry farm. Okay. So they divide the poultry farm with old chicken feed and their company wala new chicken feed. Okay, they divide the entire poultry into old and new. And they started feeding the chicken. They started feeding the feeding that those chicks, those hens, with the first half with the regular one, old one, and the second with the new chicken feed. After 1 month, when the scientists came back there, the R&D people came back there, and they weighed the chicken. So this was the old remain constant. The weight was same as earlier. The weight was remain same. The new one, they were expecting 1.5 times increase in the weight, but to their surprise, they found the weight of the new chicken feed reduced. Forget about increase. That was not even remained same. It got reduced. And that was surprise to everybody. That was surprise to the poultry farm owner as well as the scientists, the experimenters. Now then they sat for the discussion. They sat for the cause and effect. Why this happened? And when they took the round of the poultry farm, they found very interesting observation. Just besides this part, the new part, there was a slaughterhouse. So this was the slaughterhouse here on this corner, which was adjacent to this area of the new chicken feed. The slaughterhouse was the area where they used to chop the chicken every day. Okay. So in this slaughterhouse, the chicken activities were very high. So there was fear, there was chaos. Chicken used to run around just to save their life. So that was creating panic in this section of the poultry farm. And that was creating the reverse impact of the psychological impact on the chicken, and their weight was getting reduced because of the fear. The moment they identified this, and this is called as, this factor is called as lurking factor. What is lurking factor? Lurking factor is a factor which was not even considered in the experiment. It is called lurking factor. Are you clear with this? Just type yes in the chat box. Lurking factor is clear? Just give me yes. See, noise factor is a factor which is known. We know the factor, but we cannot control the factor. We know there is a temperature. We know there is a humidity, but we cannot control it. So noise factor is a known factor which we cannot control. Lurking factor is an unknown factor which we are not even aware of it. Just give me yes in the chat box if you have understood this example. Very nice example. Okay, now the people who are in Master Black Belt attending this session, just see how the examples are given and the concept is basically conveyed. You can also copy these examples and code these examples. Of course, you can create your own examples as well, but unless and until you have your own examples, just copy my examples just as it is, because they are proven examples over the period of time. Okay, clear? Now, the same lurking factor, you can just trace back to the first example of Ajay, Vijay, and Sanjay. Do you remember? There was only Ajay who was present. Still, Sia did not smile. There could be her father, standing behind her, or her elder brother standing, or a mother standing behind her. That could be lurking factors. Are you understanding? That they never considered during experiment. They were just considering their presence as a main factor, but there could be some influential factor which is unknown to us that also can influence the experiment. Clear? Types of experiments, just type yes in the chat box. Give me quick yes so that I can move forward. Clear, hai? So these are called different types of. So how do we deal with these lurking factors and noise factor? There are two strategies we use. The first strategy I have already explained, that is called randomization. What is randomization? We randomize the experiments. Okay. And second strategy is called as replication. Just to identify, these what you can say, impact of these noise factors or lurking factors, what we do, and the bias as well from the experiment. First, we randomize the runs. Second is replication. Replication meaning now L raised to F 2 raised to 3 is equal to 8 runs, right? Now, let's say out of 8 runs in one experiment, okay, there was a lurking factor. But how do we identify there was a lurking factor? What we do is we replicate all 8 runs again. So instead of 8 runs, we run actually 16. Instead of 8 runs, we run 16 runs. Understand this? Okay. And because we run 16 runs, we can easily identify if there is a difference between the 2 runs. For example, if Sanjay, Vijay, and Ajay, okay, and she smiled. Now Sanjay, Vijay, and Ajay, she didn't smile. Now there are 2 exactly opposite outcomes. There could be a lurking factor present here. Just one hint which comes. Okay, so we have to investigate that particular run. What has happened there? Why it is like that? Okay, so replications and randomizations are the strategies just to remove the bias and to remove or eliminate or reduce the impact of the lurking factors like this. Okay, so what is replication and the randomization? The same thing. If you go back, okay, let me just take you to the same Minitab file, what we had created like this. Randomization we already studied, correct? Let's go back and do the replication as well. For example, let's go back to Control E and go back to option. Or go back to option. Designs, okay. Go back to design. Here, you can find out number of replicates. Okay. Here, if instead of 1, this you can find in the design part. Okay. In the design part, number of replicates instead of 1, if I do it 2 and say okay now you will see another sheet has been created. Now you don't have 8 runs, you have 16 total runs. You can see here, that means all the runs have been replicated. I repeat again, you can go to designs and here number of replicates written instead of 1, just put it 2 and click on OK and click on OK. You will find instead of 8 runs, now you have 16 runs. So what we have done, we have randomized it and we have replicated it. Now we will start doing the experiments. Clear? So clear hai how to fix the factors, what is randomization, what is replication. If you are clear with this, let me give you one practical case study. Okay. So we'll take a practical case study of Hotel Grand. They want to increase or improve the taste of their sandwich, which was their, what you can say, brand of their, they used to make a fantastic sandwiches. So they made a team of chefs and chefs decided these are all factors. Okay, so these are various types of factors they decided. Size of bread, brand of butter, quantity of potato, onion, salt, metal, oven temperature, time of cooking, skill level of the person. All these are various 10, 12, 15 factors they have identified. Okay. Now, out of which they just brainstorm and they wanted to know what are the critical factors out of it. So they found there are 4 critical factors. Okay. Just try to understand this table. From this table, understand this. Yeah. So these are, let's say, 10 factors, out of which some factors are the constant factors. Let's say size of bread, they kept it constant at medium. Butter, they have kept it constant at Amul. Potato, they kept it constant at 2 pieces. Salt, they kept it 1 gram constant. Metal oven, they kept it standard, so they did not change it. Now they kept it, what I can say, oven temperature, brand of bread, onion, and cooking. These are experimental factors. You can see here, experiment, E for experiment. Okay. Now for experimental factor, they have set 2 levels. So this is lower setting, minus, 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 and they are the higher setting, plus, 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 plus. So for example, oven temperature, 57 is a lower setting, 60 is the higher setting. Brand of bread, again, Britannia and Webb's are the 2 settings. Now there is no lower and higher in the discrete data. And quantity of onion, lower setting is 1 piece onion and 2 pieces onion in the higher setting. Time of cooking, 3 pieces is the lower setting, and 3 minutes is the higher setting, and 5 minutes is the lower setting. Skill of the person is noise factor. So it is not under control as of now, the team suggests. Let's keep it as noise factor. Okay. So these are the 4 experiments. Now tell me, there are 4 factors. So number of factors are 4. Number of levels are 2. And number of replicates, we have to do 2 replicates. So how many total number of runs will be there? Type in the chat box. Factors are 4, levels are 2, replicates are 2. How many total number of runs will come? Type in the chat box, everybody. What is the formula of number of runs? L raised to F. So 2 raised to 4, 16 number of runs, correct? And replicates 2, right? So we have to replicate the 16 runs again. So into 2 becomes 32. 16 into 2, 32. Everybody got this answer? So we will have total 32 runs in this case. And from that 32 runs, we will check the test of the sandwich, and then we will analyze the sandwich, which we will see later. Clear? Yahan tak clear hai? Just give me yes in the chat box. Just type yes. Everybody got it? Everybody in the room clear about it? Just give me yes. Experiment clear hai? So now I'm just giving you a file. I'm just giving you a file. Just download this file. Okay. All right. Let's do one thing. Let's open this file as of now. I will also open it. Just try to understand the file first, and then we will quickly take a break. And once we are back, we will start analyzing this entire experimental file. Okay. Now, just try to understand this. Once you open the file, you will see there are 4 factors: oven temperature, brand of bread, quantity of onion, and time of cooking. And the test is the outcome, which is the Y output, right? And they have randomized the runs, and total runs are 32. If you see here, total 32 runs data is captured. Okay. Everybody got this file? Just give me yes in the chat box. Super. Let's do one thing. Let's take a quick break. After the break, I have one announcement to be made. And after the announcement, we will discuss about the analysis of this experiment. Okay. That's the final part of it. Then I will give you inputs about the exam, and then we will close the session. All right. Super. So let's take a break. It's 8:18 right now. We'll be back exactly at 8:28. Okay, 10 minutes ka break hoga. Once you are back, please type I am back in the chat. Okay, all the best. Enjoy your break. Yeah. All right. If you're back on your seat, please give me the confirmation. I am back so that we can start our session. Just give me a yes. Super, super. Okay, let me just. Okay, welcome back in the last segment of this hackathon. So before we, yeah, I think let me just start recording after my announcement. Okay. So I believe everybody's back. Okay, I'm just waiting for other people to confirm so that I can just make a quick announcement and then we will start our analysis phase. Okay, done. Super, super. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, chalo. So let's begin with a quick announcement. We have now on 5th of this month, October, till 5th of this month, started with the beginning of the month itself. We had a special offer going on. If you remember, we had shared emails as well as WhatsApp messages about that offer, and we got amazing, overwhelming response for that. All right. Lot of people got upgraded to the Master Black Belt. Let me just quickly reiterate that offer for you. Quickly reiterate that offer. Quickly, if you have missed on that, it is a special festival offer which was given. Let me share my quick screen on this part. Okay, so this was the offer which was given, and the offer was for the Master Black Belt upgrade. See, now after your yellow belt, you upgraded to the green belt, you upgraded to the black belt, you completed your green belt, some of you have reached the black belt level. And if you want to keep this momentum going, the next one is the Master Black Belt, which is the highest qualification of Lean Six Sigma. Okay, so your qualification will match with my qualification as far as qualification is concerned. Now, the only difference making will remain, that will be application of this. Like I have been applying this for a very long time. That is the only thing. The practice part will remain. But as far as qualification wise, we will match with each other. Now, if you want to start your own training consulting business, Master Black Belt certification will add a different flavor. Okay, so whenever there is a comparison between a black belt certified trainer and a master black belt, obviously the master black belt certified trainer will always be having the higher demand. Okay, so so who can join this master black belt program? Literally anybody from our SNG community. Okay, at least why SNG community, not from the outside? This is exclusive offer for our community members only. Okay, this is not for the outsider. This is exclusive for the members who have completed their yellow belt, green belt, black belt. Okay, or in the process of doing this, they should have some knowledge of Lean Six Sigma. Then only you should enter into this. Okay. Will we get a certificate? Of course, it is a CSSC internationally accredited certification. So you will get a CSSC international accredited MBB, Master Black Belt. Okay. Now, what I will learn into this? So you will learn advanced statistical rule. For example, let's take a same example of design of experiments. Okay. In MBB, what you will learn is advanced DOE. You will learn what is a fractional factorial. You will learn how you can have one factor at multiple levels, one factor at 2 levels, one factor at 4 levels, 3 levels, etc. How do you manage this? And there are other levels of DOE as well. So those kinds of tools, okay, non-parametric testing, or those types of advanced tools, advanced analytics, you will learn, plus some strategy deployment tools like Hoshin Kanri, X Matrix. These are the tools which will be taught. How to monitor the project, how to basically manage the entire project management. This is what we will be learning here. Okay. Will it be live or recorded? Again, it will be mostly recorded. There will be some live sessions also of the Master Black Belt. Okay. There will be few, but mostly it will be already recorded. Okay. Then what is the expected salary? I have already shown you in the yellow belt session that 45 lakhs per annum is the average salary for the Master Black Belt in India. And with this certification, you can start your own consulting business as well. Okay. Now we have our consulting program. If you are interested, please connect with the mentor number, which I believe everybody has this number, right? So consulting program also we have. So there is a special offer on that as well. Okay, so if you're interested, just send a message on that and we will give you all the details. Okay, now the master black belt regular price is 29,999 plus GST, but for this festival time we had given this offer till 5th of October, and that offer is gone now. Now we are just opening this offer for this team members till this weekend. Okay, so you can take this master black belt offer with 9999 inclusive of GST. Let's be very clear on this. Now in this, GST is also absorbed, and once you pay this, you will become a lifetime member of SNG as well. By the way, in this also credit card EMI option is available. Okay, so this was the offer provided to you, and let me just share. If you are interested, this offer will be valid for the people who are attending this. This is exclusive for the people attending these sessions, huh? Not for everybody. We have just opened this offer for the people who are, after their completed day, they're attending the live hackathon. That is the qualification criteria. That is like showing your own, what you can say, rigor, passion. So this is the link for this special offer. Lifetime membership, master black belt only at 9999, including GST. GST also has been absorbed. Okay, for a very limited time, you can take admission today, tomorrow, day after, up to Sunday, 12 p.m. You guys, the people who are attending this hackathon, you can take this offer. That's why I've just kept the recording off. This recording will not go to anybody outside of this. All right. So this is the offer. The link is there in the chat right now. You can just click on the link, make the payment, come on board of the master black belt, and continue your journey. After black belt, the obvious next step will be the master black belt. So this will be taken care of with this. And see, this means what? This if you see very, very closely, within 20,000 rupees, we have provided all the certifications, right from yellow belt till master black belt level, and you will never get these kind of this kind of what you can say offer anywhere in the world. Okay, that's my guarantee, and I will make sure that whatever I have been following in these years will be passed on. Plus now we are using AI tools as well. Yesterday also you would have seen that during GRR analysis, kappa analysis, also we use the AI tools. Okay, the chat GPT and other tools as well. So it is time to take up our skill set to the next level, and you just have to take the decision. See, understand it. While investing, my take on this is, once the greatest of the investors, okay, was asked the question, who is the greatest of the investor, if you remember. Yeah. So what Warren Buffett. So I was just Warren Buffett. So Warren Buffett was asked this question, that what is the best investment? And the person who asked this question was expecting some stock, some bond, some real estate, or something strategy which he is observing, he is following. What he said, the best investment you can make is the investment in yourself. You can get the best return on investment. Okay, it's so powerful because the person who has been the master of investing for entire year lifespan, he is suggesting it's not in stock market, it's you can make the most out of it. So whenever it comes to the upgradation of the skill set, make sure that you don't hold yourself back. And whenever this opportunity, there is some offers, etc., bang on those offers. That will give you the best value for money. Okay, so the link is there. I'll just give the link once again. Here is the link. Just click on the link, make the payment. It's a lifetime membership as well as master black belt. You can upgrade yourself to. Clear, everybody? This offer is clear to you. And if you're interested to start your own consulting and training business, just send a message on the WhatsApp and we will set up a call. There is a process. which we have to go through. There is a first call of the team, and then there will be one-on-one discussion with me, and then you can upgrade yourself as well. Okay, done? Understood? Just give me yes in the chat box. Anybody has any doubt on this before we go for the remaining part of DOE? Please let me know. Any doubt on this offer? Very simple. The offer is so MBB plus lifetime membership at 9999 only. This is the offer, right? Yes. Anybody has any kind of doubt, please let me know. Clear as? Just type C if you are clear on this offer. Just type C so that we can move forward. Again, it is not. This is for the people who are looking to take their career to the next level. Okay. Either in the job, they want to grow up in the ladder. Either, now, I just, before we started this session, I just had a call with one of our student. Okay. He wanted, because he had a, he had a, what you can say, he had a interview scheduled couple of days later. Okay, I think on Monday he has scheduled interview. So what I suggested him that, and that interview was for a very, it was a associate director quality. So at the top management level. So I suggested one thing to him. You can just take this offer, take the admission, and just upgrade your CV that pursuing master black belt. That will give a positive signal to the management that even after, he's a senior guy, he's in late 40s, so very experienced, very dynamic. So even at this age also you are learning, that gives a positive signal. And master black belt is the apex certification in Lean Six Sigma, that will also give you added advantage. So then you can complete the course, but at least pursuing this will have a positive impact. Okay, so that's what we decided. So this you also can do it, and you can see a lot of things will change. A lot of things will change because MBB itself has a different what you can say level altogether. Clear? Just give me yes in the chat box so that we can move forward. Clear, clear, clear. C. Just type C in the chat box. C for clear. Very good, very good. Super, super. Any doubt you can just put in between as well, and I will clarify that doubt. Okay. Yeah, if you have made the payment today itself, just type payment done and I will confirm your name as well. Okay, we have got all the systems ready. So your journey will start immediately. See, even if you are not green belt certified black belt, at least you can take this offer. Admission लेके रखो. Then you can do it after black belt. After black belt ही करना है आप, right? You have to start only after black belt only, right? Super. Chalo, let's move on to the DOE. Let me start my recording once again. Super. All right. So here we go. So welcome back to the second session, second half of the session for the today. And let's open the file of Minitab, which was shared with you guys. Once you open the file, let me know in the chat. Now we are going to the analyze part of it, analysis of the data. Okay. Once you open the file, please let me know open. So before the session, we got introduced to, the DOE, the OFAT, then, the keeper strategy, then full factorial design. Then we created full factorial design, right? Then we got introduced to terminology like experimental factor levels, etc., right? Replication, randomization, and then now we are discussing this sandwich wala example. Okay. Now, once the data is collected, the next part which comes is go to stat, DOE, factorial, analyze factorial design. Stat, DOE, factorial, analyze factorial design. Okay, everybody follow this? When we created, it was create factorial design the first option. Once we put the data in, then we have to use analyze factorial design. Once you click on that, just put test, which is the outcome, C9 column. Just double click on test in the response and click on OK. Let's keep all the by default setting, right? So there are three different graphs you would have seen. Have you got this graph? Just give me yes in the chat box. Got the graph? Very good, very good. Super. Okay, very good. Now, the first graph we need to check is the residual plot, this one. Now, just try to understand this. Okay, what is the residual? Try to understand first. Residual is, you remember regression, we have line of best fit. Let me draw a quick line of best fit like this. Okay, so in the line of best fit, we have dots around the line like this, correct? Now, there is a dot on the line and there is an actual dot like this. What is the distance between these two? It's called as residual R. Are you understanding? That R square value actually is basically residual square value. Are you understanding? You have seen that R square, no? What is that R stands for? R stands for that residual. What is residual? The distance between line of best fit and the actual data point. So this is residual, this is residual, this is residual. Like for example, when we have normal distribution data, and let's say this is the line of best fit. So we have data distributed, on both sides of the central line symmetrically. So what software does, it checks the residuals, okay, whether the residuals are normally distributed. So to check the normally distributed, understand this. To check the normally distributed, what graphs do we use? Normality check करने के लिए which graph do we use? Type in the chat box, everybody. First, which graph do we use? Type in the chat box. Histogram. Perfect. So this is called histogram of standardized residuals. And confirmation के लिए we do the normality test. This is also called as normal probability plot. So this is the normal probability plot. So this is called normality checking of the residuals. Now, with this histogram, isn't it symmetrical looking? Yes, can we see a symmetrical histogram on both the sides? Okay, can we see the dots are distributed kind of symmetrically here as well? If we see these kinds of pattern, it shows that the residuals are normally distributed. So residuals are normal. Now just try to understand, what does that mean? What does residual normal means? Okay, so that means there is no kind of lurking factor present in the system. So residual plot gives us a confirmation that, okay, there is no, what you can say, some kind of special event or lurking factor or noise factor impact on the experiment, which can be easily seen. So seems to be a normal data collection. Now we can go further. Okay, you can see here. So what is a standardized residual? There is a term called standardized residual. You will see here. Okay, standardized residual, standardized residual. So what is standardized residual? Standardized residual is nothing but residual multiplied by standard deviation of residual. Now again, it becomes a little technical, but just for our understanding. Okay, so they have just plotted standardized residual, one in normal probability plot. So first they will calculate the let me show you. Let me show you. Just for your understanding. Okay. कहाँ पे गया? हाँ, इसको मैं हटा देता हूं. Just for your understanding. Let me open the data. Let me open the data. Okay. Now just try to understand this. Uh, okay. Now 65. Just help me out. Let's say this is okay. This is the run 1. 60 wibs 2 and 3. Now just help me out in identifying this replication. 60 wibs 2 and 3. 60 wibs 2 and 3. Okay, I got it. 11 number. Can you find out 60 wibs 2 and 3? Got it, everybody? Now, the first time the test is 7, second time the 11th value is test is 6. Are you understanding? Because we have replicated it. We have randomized and replicated. So every run will have two replication, right? 1 and 2. Now, what is first reading is 6, second reading, first reading is 7, second reading is 6. Okay. So the line of best fit will pass from these two. Okay, the total line of best fit. Now, first residual, let's say the line of best fit is at 6.5. Imagine. So the first residual is plus 0.5. The second residual is minus 0.5. Are you understanding this? Just a very simple example I'm giving you. What is residual? So line of best fit which cuts through all the data points, and residual is actual value and distance from the actual value, distance from line of best fit. So minus 5 and plus 5 are the residuals. Now they will collect all these residuals, plot it on the distribution, okay, and whether they are plus and minus. If you see again, if you go back to the graph, you will find all the values around that only. Okay. Can you see 0? 0 meaning that line of best fit. There are some minus 1, minus 2, then plus 1, plus 2. Are you understanding? The same thing you will observe everywhere. Clear hai? And what is standardized residual? They will calculate a standard deviation of this residual and multiply with the value of each and every data point. Okay, that is called standardized. Anyway, doesn't matter. These are all technical terms which you will understand eventually. What is expected here is normal distributed histogram, normal probability plot, and you can see all the data points. There is a mirror image here. Can you see a mirror image? Okay, this is just like a control chart. So in the control chart, what we see? Whether all the data points are within the control limits. Similarly, we are observing all the values are just near the center line and they are mirroring with each other. So all the values are, you can see here, mirror image, okay, mirror image. So exactly mirroring image, that's a good sign for us that there is a symmetry in the data collection. Okay. And here also within plus and minus standardized residuals may all the data points are there. Okay. So this shows that overall residual plot gives us the for the experiments. Are you clear? So overall this is signing that you are on the right track of experiments. Go ahead for the analysis. Once this is done, then we'll go for the normality. So let me show you. This one. This is called as normal plot for standardized effect. Now just try to understand this. Here, just try to observe this. It is plotted, in this graph, this is plotted standardized effect against the percentile of the data. Do you remember percentile? Just give me yes in the chat box. Do you remember percentile? Just type yes in the chat box. Very good, very good. If your data set is divided into 100 equal parts, if you arrange it in the ascending or descending order, right? Now, over here, there are few red dots. Try to understand this. There are few red dots, okay, which are a little away from this line of significance. This is called line of significance. Line of significance. This is a little different than our line of best fit, okay? So these two dots, red dots, C and D. Now, what is C and D? Try to understand it. These are the factors. Remember, A is oven temperature, B is brand of bread, C is onion, and D is time of cooking. So these are the significant factors. First, we identified the 10 factors, 10, 11, 12 factors, out of which we decided 4 experimental factors. Out of 4 experimental factors, these 2 factors are having maximum impact on our output. That is what it is showing. So significant factors will be shown as these red dots. Okay. Now there is another graph which you have got, and that graph is called as effect Pareto. Just click on effect Pareto, and you will see a Pareto graph, which is a vertically held Pareto. Now this is also showing the same thing. So this is called line of significance. Okay, of course, there is a formula to calculate this line of significance, this number, and any standardized effect which is crossing this. So now you can see C and D is crossing this this line, and they are called significant factor. Anything which is having significant. Now, even A is also very close. Okay, A is also very close. So for me, I will give benefit of doubt to A, and I will say that A, C, and D are very critical for us to investigate further. Even C, A is not there in this, but I will still give it a chance because it is very close. Okay, so I will give these 3 factors a very, very important thing. Now, coming back to what are these other factors, try to understand. This is very, very interesting. Huh? Now, let's say CD. What is CD? CD is nothing but the impact of these 2 factors in a combination on Y. Are you understanding? Let's say, for example, when we make cup of tea, only sugar is having impact separately on the test, or there could be combination of sugar and milk also can have impact. Let's say less sugar and more milk will have a different taste. More sugar, less milk will have a different taste. So the combination also will have a combined impact. Yes or no? And that is called CD. Okay. What is BCD? BCD stands for brand of bread, quantity of onion, and time of cooking, having a combined impact on my Y. So that is also getting studied here. So can we see here the impact of DOE? We are not only studying the main effect. This is like, what if Sanjay and Vijay is traveling together? What is the impact on Siad's smile? What if all 3 go together? What is the impact? What if only 2 of them go together? Only one goes together. So this is how we are studying all the permutation combination here. Okay, so it is like this. A, B, C, D are the main effects. These are called main effect, which are the main factors. Okay, then the combination like AB, AC, AD, CD, etc. These are called two-way interaction. And there are factors like ABC, BCD, etc. These are called 3-way interaction. And there is a 4-way interaction like ABCD. There is called 4-way interaction. Okay. For us, main effect and 2-way interaction are important to study. Okay, at least we should study main and 2-way interaction, at least. Okay, which are significant. Right now, if we only consider the top significant, all are only main effects. That's it. Are you clear with it? Just type yes in the chat box. Clear hai ye? Everybody got it? Just give me yes. Okay. Now let me take you to the sessions folder. Sessions folder mein jaate hai. There are some interesting stuff going on there. Just click on the sessions folder here. Okay, where is the sessions folder? You can find the sessions folder here. Just scroll it up, scroll it up. Okay, everybody got the sessions folder? Sessions window या फिर sessions folder, or you can just press Control Alt M. That's a short form, short key. Okay. Now, once you come there, just scroll it up. You will find two interesting things. One is called, you will get a regression equation, complete regression equation. Y is equal to A plus BX. Now it is like y is equal to A plus B1 x1 plus B2 x2 plus B3 xt plus B4 x4, etc., etc. This entire equation is there. This is called regression equation. Now, apart from regression equation, we have these terms and the p-values. Okay. Everybody could see the session folder. Just give me yes in the chat box so that you can just read it yourself. Okay. Now here, as I mentioned to you earlier, temperature, bread, onion, and cooking. These are the main effect. Let me write one. These are the one effect, single effect. It is main effect. Okay. Then temperature into brand of bread, temperature into quantity of onion and cooking, etc. These are called two-way interaction. So let me write two. Then we have three-way interactions. Let me write three. And this is last is four-way interaction where temperature, bread, onion, and cooking all are put together. So these are four levels. We have seen first one factor, two factor, three factor, four levels interaction. Now just check the p-value. Okay. Now any p-value, this is very interesting statement. Any p-value having less than 0.05 is a critical factor for us, or significant. Critical meaning significant factor. Okay. So in this case, what is the null hypothesis? Null hypothesis say factor has no impact. Null, no impact. Okay. And alternate hypothesis will say factor has significant impact. This is a hypothesis. Okay. Now, when the p-value is low, we reject null hypothesis and we say that the factor has a critical impact. So whenever the p-value is less than 0.05, that means the factor is making a critical impact, significant impact on our output. Okay, so now look at this. So temperature is, now see, temperature is A, brand of bread is B, onion is C, and cooking is D. Now A is having p-value 0.06. Do you remember A was very close to line of significance? Remember that? So p-value is also see very close to 0.05. So, but still it is not lower than 0.05. So still it is not making impact, but we are giving it a kind of a benefit of doubt. Okay. Second factor is brand of bread is having p-value 0.74, which is not at all close. The next one, onion, is 0.000, very, very significant. And cooking is 0.01. So here we have got these two values which are very, very critical, which is C and D. Are you clear? So here also it is getting finalized, certified, or it is validated that these are the two factors. And for just the sake of security, we are just giving A as a benefit of doubt. Okay, so rest all of them, if you see, not a single p-value is less than 0.05. Can you see that? Just type yes in the chat box. If you see here, all these rest of the p-values are not significant. They are much greater than 0.05. Yes? So we have only A, C, and D, which are, A is also not, but we are just giving the benefit of doubt. Actually, it is C and D only. Clear hai ye? Just give me yes in the chat box. Are you clear with this? Just give me yes. Now, once we identify that, then what we do, we just remove the unwanted stuff from the model. What is model? Model is nothing but this equation, the prediction equation. I will give you advanced model as well, but now we will eliminate unwanted stuff. Okay, we'll clean this stuff. How do we do that? Go to edit last dialog box. Just press Ctrl E and now go to terms. We'll go to terms here. Okay. We'll go to terms. Now, because now here we have selected all the main effect interaction, two-way interaction, three-way interaction, four-way, all have been selected. So we don't want them. So what we'll do first, we will take all of them on left hand side. पहले उसको निकाल देते हैं. Okay. So just click this double two arrow. Okay, double arrow जो है ना on the left hand side. Okay, just click on that. All they will get selected over there. Okay. Now we will select the select these factors individually. Okay, we'll select A, double click on A, we'll select C, and we'll select D. That's it. We'll select A, D, A, C, and D. That's it. Okay, rest everything they have removed and say okay and say okay. Now there will be some change in the residual plot, but just we have to see the symmetry is there. Is there some abnormality looking? Okay, so there is a change, but there is no much abnormality you can see over here. Okay, now if you see the Pareto chart, all the three are touching or exceeding the line of significance. And if you see the normal probability standardized effect, all three dots are shown in red, which are significant. Okay. So these three, very good for our model. Now what you can do, you can go to the sessions folder and check the reduced equation. Now you can see this is the reduced equation here. So reduced equation is just test oven temperature, quantity of onion, and time of cooking. That's it. Rest all the factors have been removed. This is the actual precise equation, prediction equation we can check. Everybody with me till now, just give me yes in the chat box. Yes. Now it requires a little bit of practice. You'll not become expert in the first case itself. Okay. But practice makes you the perfect, right? So now, after that, what we do? Now, let me show you something very interesting. Go to stat DOE factorial and response optimizer. Just do this. Go to stat DOE factorial response optimizer. Please follow these steps. Stat DOE factorial response optimizer. Once you click on response optimizer, this page will come. It is asking the responses test. What is your goal? What do you want to do with this? Now understand the goal. Huh? For example, if the response is defect, what is our goal? To minimize it, right? If response is test, what is our goal? To maximize it, right? So here we want to maximize, right? So we will select maximize here. So whenever you set test, our target, our main objective is to give us the maximum test, maximum result. Okay. And click on OK. Now there is something, this window will come. Everybody got it? Just type yes in the chat box. This is called response optimizer. This is the ultimate tool. This is the final output of DOE. Okay. Try to understand. This is my factor number A. This is minus level and this is plus level. And this is optimized level. The center one, red one. Okay. Try to understand this. This is my factor number C. This is minus level. This is plus level. And this is my optimized level. This is my factor D, which is time of cooking. This is my minus level, this is my plus level, and this is my optimized level. Okay. And now this is the best test I can get, 7.315125. This is, so if I keep my oven temperature at 65, if I keep my 2 pieces of quantity of onion in my sandwich, and if I keep my oven time of cooking at 3 minutes, I will get the test more than 7.3 out of 10. That's the best test I can get. This is the optimized result given by the software. Now you can play around this. Let's play around this. Okay. Let's play around this. Now you can see this red line. This is for the oven temperature. Now this is set at 65 right now. Now just look at this wire. Y is the output, which is test. Okay. Now I'm just shifting this red line to, let's say, 62. Let me set at 62. Look at my test. From 7.3, it has dropped to 6.8. And I can do it at whatever level. Let's say if I make it at 61. Now this is without making sandwich. I can predict the test with the model. And this is called the ultimate prediction model. Okay. You can see here my test is dropping. If I take it to the extreme value, which is 60, my test from 7.3 has dropped to 6.5. Okay, let me play around with quantity of onion. Now this has got a maximum impact. Do you remember the slope I mentioned? The slope I mentioned. So here, this is the maximum slope, which is indicating that is the maximum impact. Same like Ajay. If you remember, Ajay has the maximum slope, right? Because Ajay's presence had maximum impact on CR smile. So let me just reduce it from 2 to, let's say, 1.5. What will happen if I put it to 1.5? It will drop to 5. Okay. Let me take my oven temperature to max and only change the quantity of onion. Okay. Let me take quantity of onion to 1, the lowest. Can you see here? The moment I lower the quantity of onion, understand this, huh? When it was 2, it was 7.3. When it is 1, the test is 4.1. Almost 80% drop in the test. That's why it is having the maximum impact. See, similarly, time of cooking also will have an impact. You can just play around this and, okay, 3.1. So you can get maximum impact by doing this. Okay. And whenever you show this to the management, sometimes they will really appreciate your efforts. And this is called design of experiments. Without making the sandwich, you can just predict the test of the sandwich just by playing the, the strings like this. Isn't it amazing? Understood this? Just give me yes in the chat box. Very good, very good. Again, as I said earlier, it will require a little bit of practice, a little bit of understanding. Okay. Go through the recording once again. It will clarify your doubts, clarify your questions, queries. You can always connect on the mentor's number for any kind of query. Let's say if you're doing this experiment, just take a screenshot wherever you get stuck. You haven't understood a terminology. Just take a screenshot, send it to the mentor's WhatsApp number. We will give you the answer. Okay. And so have some patience. Okay. Because we are also in the training sessions, coaching or traveling. So whenever we see your question, we will respond to that immediately. Okay. That's how we have designed the system for you. So I think that's it from our side as far as DOE is concerned. So as I asked the question, because a lot of people have joined just now, let me ask this question once again. How many of you have already been certified into Six Sigma Green Belt and been through the black belt content hackathon and ready for the exam? Okay, so 2 people have already made the payment. Congratulations. Let me just quickly check and. Okay, Mr. Kurian, you have made the payment. Congratulations. And Mr. Aman Pandey, your payment has been through. Congratulations. Super. So, okay, anybody would like to make the payment, because we have kept the link alive again. Okay, we have made it activated for the people who are attending the session of hackathon. Okay, your attendance of hackathon is must. All right. So you can just check that out, and you can. All right. Now the people who are already green belt certified, your green belt certificate number is required for the examination. Okay. Now let me just give you the ground rules of the examination. GB certificate number is required. So just check out that number. Keep that number ready with you while giving the exam. Okay, that is required. Now, again, it is similar to this open book test. You can refer to your notes. The duration is 2 hours. Now, today being a working day, being Thursday, then you attended almost 2.5 hours of session now. Okay. So I would recommend, if there is energy remaining, then you can attend. Otherwise, you can attempt it tomorrow, day after, or on Sunday. Okay. Then again, 70% is, passing is required. That is, the same kind of stuff. Okay. And MCQ type. Same like green belt, just there will be more number of questions will be there. In green belt, we had 50 questions. Here it will be having 100 questions. Okay. And a little advanced questions would be there. So if you are prepared, then you can go for it. So now, if the people who would like to go for it, you just have to send a message on the mentor's number, which was given to you earlier. Just you have to send the message. If possible, you can send the green belt certificate number as well. Okay. ग्रीन बेल्ट सर्टिफिकेट का नंबर भी भेज दीजिए एंड मेंटर्स नंबर पे ये कर दीजिए. ठीक है. So this is the mentor's number as well as the offer for the payment. Okay, दोनों भी मैंने आपको दिया है. If you are making the payment, because a couple of you are still making the payment as well. So you can click on the link, make the payment. Let me know in the mentor's number as well, and automatically the master black belt, what you can say, access will be provided. Okay. Super. So I think that's it from my side. How many of you would like to attempt this exam today itself? I would recommend not to stress yourself. Have your dinner, take rest, prepare yourself, and then once you are ready, just send the message, maybe one day prior or few hours prior on the mentor's number, and then we will arrange the, Sunday will be the best strategy. Super. So what I would recommend, please send maybe a message on Saturday, late evening, okay, that tomorrow maybe I will be giving the examination, or Sunday morning, because then what happens is Sundays, the entire group is there in the yellow belt sessions, okay. So maybe you can just plan on Saturday. You can send a message on Saturday. So we will arrange accordingly, okay. Done, everybody? Super, super. So thank you very much for connecting all these 3 days. I hope you got amazing value out of this discussion. Some new concepts, some advanced concepts. For the green belt people or the yellow belt, just yellow belt freshers, there will be some difficulty of understanding, but I can understand. Don't worry. Just sit, relax, see the recording again. Okay, once you go through the green belt and black belt content, then you will connect the dots easily. All right. So that's it from my side. I wish you all the best, whoever would like to go for this. And I congratulate for the lifetime members and MBB participants who have just taken the admission. Okay. Thank you very much for joining today. This is Dinesh Patil signing off. Keep learning, keep growing. Bye-bye. Take care. Good night. All the very best for your exam. Bye.